Coming up next here, guys, from Osme Perfumery in Miami. Excited to bring you a video that is something I haven't done for years, and that is I'm going to give you 5 famous fragrances, mostly from the designer world, and what are the best, in my opinion, niche alternatives. So if you want to get something that resembles a very famous fragrance but is done in a more niche way, okay, these are the fragrances you must check out. Find out what they are coming up next. Welcome back, everybody, to Joel the Nose. Thank you as always for watching. If you watched my last video, you know that I'm about to release my 3rd fragrance, Softly Savage, and it is actually in its final stages of maceration right now, so it's gonna be ready probably in roughly another week and a half, but I'll keep you updated. All right, let's get right into this video, guys. Today, as I said at the outset, this is gonna be a video where I give you alternatives to famous designer, although not one of them at least is not designer fragrance, the original inspiration. But these are great alternatives for very famous fragrances, whether they be designer or niche. These are all niche fragrances, okay? So let's get right into this. We'll start with actually, Creed Aventus, right? It's one of the best-selling, most famous fragrances, niche fragrances of all time. Really kind of helped launch, I think, this modern niche craze that has driven so many. There's dupes, copycats, whatever, but these are not dupes or copycats, and they are not going to smell exactly like it. So this video, by the way, these are not dupes, these are not clone fragrances. These are very unique, but have a similar vibe to the original fragrance that I'm going to discuss. So Creed Aventus, first, I'm going to give you 2 options. First is from Jeroboam, and this is Vespero. Vespero from Jeroboam. This is an extrait 30 ml bottle. Great option. It's I think it's under $180. So if you want to get something, this to me is, man, just a better, may hate or disagree with me, but I think this is a better and well blended and well done version of Creed Aventus. And it's got more punch. It's got a little bit more oomph. I think it's probably a little bit less on that pineapple side, but definitely if you want a good option and you want to get into something a little bit smaller so you don't have to invest in such a bigger size bottle, check out Vespero. The second one, which I don't know if anyone's ever discussed this one before as being similar to Creed Aventus. This is Blue Satin. Blue Satin from MDCI Parfums. MDCI, a true classic French niche brand. If you look at the notes on here, in fact, let me just read you some. I love how complicated and complex their fragrances are, but bergamot, lemon, green notes, jasmine, cassis, watermelon, saffron, leather, woody notes. So to me, and actually I have right here, I've already sprayed, so I don't have to spend time on the video spraying. That watermelon note combined with the other notes gives it that kind of that fruity pineapple, but not fruity sweet. Again, if I had to choose actually between this one and Vespero, I'd go with Blue Satin because for me, MDCI is one of the great niche houses for the value. And if you want something that's like Creed Aventus, but is more unique and your own, and it's gonna make you smell different, check out Blue Satin. All right, next, let's go. Let's go for another really famous. Okay, this is, now that I'm realizing this video, a lot of the fragrances that I'm talking about were originally not necessarily designer. This is another famous fragrance that it smells like. It is a niche fragrance from Le Labo, and Santal 33. Similar to Creed Aventus in its impact in the fragrance community. Le Labo, when they came out, was a small kind of niche independent brand. Now, they're huge. They were bought out years ago. Huge brand, global brand. Santal 33, I remember when that was just everywhere. you'd see it on TV, celebrities, when they say, what are they wearing? Santal 33. It's still very popular, but if you want a great option for cheaper, and I think and still a great brand, is Montal's Santal Wood. Santal Wood, there you go. It's just fresh, it's clean, great everyday fragrance. And again, I love Le Labo. I think it's a great house. Still, even though it was bought out, a lot of times when they go corporate, they kind of lose their identity. I think Le Labo is still a great niche house, but Montal, if you want something different, you want an awesome, cool bottle and a good price, still under $200 for 100 mLs, so you're gonna be cheaper than Le Labo. It's still a great fragrance, and if you love Santal 33, check out Santal Wood. All right, next, let's go to, all right, now we finally go to a designer fragrance, something that was originally a designer, and that is Le Male from Jean Paul Gaultier, another uber popular designer fragrance that kind of really ignited the modern day men's fragrance craze, I think. And you want something that's a little bit sweeter and fresher. This has got that little sweetness, and what am I talking about? I'm kind of jumping the gun. If you want a really much more refined, elegant, great niche version of Le Male, Reflection Man from Amouage. Okay, again, this is by no means a clone or a dupe of Le Male. This is way better than Le Male in my opinion. It's not even close. Amouage is such a great house, and this is a fragrance that you'll put on and it will last you all day. It's gonna give you compliments. It is gonna wear well in any situation. But if you like Le Male and you want to go to a niche version, check out Reflection Man from Amouage. Okay, next one is gonna be, we're gonna stay in the designer world. And this is one I think that actually, we're gonna reverse it a little bit. And I was talking to Maurice and Bavica as I was getting this video ready. This is actually a good recommendation from Bavica, that reverse meaning that if you want something, if you really like, for example, Bleu de Chanel and those kind of really lighter, fresher, almost marine type fragrances, 8 Bob's Original, okay? So this could go either way. It could have been influenced either way, but this is such a great everyday fragrance. You know, my son, we were just talking about this the other day, my son who just turned 21, he wears this. This is his everyday fragrance. I got him a bottle years ago, and he just keeps asking, you know, whenever he runs out, he gets another one of 8 Bob. In fact, he was just here at Osme a couple days ago, and 8 Bob was what he picked up. I think it's a really, really good fragrance for the younger generation. When you come into Osme now, there's this real trend of young kids. And I think it's the influence from Jeremy on TikTok. I was hanging out with Jeremy this week. By the way, he's in Miami. He just got awesome place on Ocean Drive, and so we were hanging out there with my son and him and just talking fragrances, but I digress. The impact of, I think, social media has brought in so many young people, like 13, 14-year-olds. You'll see them come in here with their parents, and this is one of those fragrances that I would highly recommend if you're a parent out there and you're looking for something for your son, your daughter, and you want to get them into niche fragrances and it's not going to break the bank. 8 Bob, the original, and again, much better refined version than Bleu de Chanel. So skip Bleu de Chanel, go right to 8 Bob. And certainly last but not least, I'm gonna go with one of my personal favorites. This is based on not a designer fragrance, but probably right up there with Creed Aventus and one of the most popular fragrances in the last 10, 12 years, Baccarat Rouge, right? Baccarat Rouge 540. It's still to this day, I mean, especially for women, it's just, it seems like that is a go-to fragrance. Whenever I talk to somebody and I meet somebody, it is like a female, and we talk about for the first time fragrances and what they like and what fragrances they have. Baccarat Rouge is 95% of the time, I would say, in their collection, okay? If you want something that I think is a better version of that, this is Phoenix from Lark. First of all, I love these bottles. One of the most well-designed, architecturally interesting bottles in the whole fragrance community. Lark, the French brand, great house. They have stuff that is like very, I think, mainstream like this to things like crystalline, which are like dark, ooh, just interesting. So I love how the fact that they just take chances and do different things. They have their surefire hits like this, Phoenix. Oh, it's so good, so good. Whenever I'm in here and somebody wants me to recommend something that, you know, let's say they're just kind of new to the niche world and looking for something that smells familiar to them, Phoenix is a great, great selection. And also shout out, hopefully he's watching, someone actually just met here, Devin from Jacksonville. It was so cool meeting you today. We were talking some fragrances here and I was recommending some for him. And it's so cool when we come here and meet everybody and just talk about our passion. So there you have it. 5 great original fragrances and their niche alternatives, which I think are better. I'll be back soon with another video. As always, thank you for watching. Thank you for your support. Peace, love, and perfume.